Well, hello, my sweet, beautiful people, and how the heck are you? Welcome back to another little bit of flashback franchise with the Toronto Maple Leafs of NHL 16. Now, of course, turning into the NHL 16-17 season. We've only completed one season. Of course, we went to the second round of the playoffs. We ended up with a million bajillion draft picks, and it kind of screwed everything up. This year, the plan is obviously to tank as best we can. However, we do still have some decent pieces. Kadri, Marner's arrived, Bozak's here, March is so. And I'm kind of torn, right? Like, do we move on from Mitch Marner if the right trade comes up? Because, well, it didn't work out in real life. Same thing as like, well, it hasn't really worked out in keeping Morgan Riley. They did eventually get rid of Jake Gardiner, of course. Probably should have kept Kadri. Probably should have kept Tyler Bozak. I mean, he did go on to win a Stanley Cup in St. Louis. There's some interesting situations and scenarios that we're going to be figuring out here as we move along. But before we really get going here, I do want to sim to the start of the season. Then we'll set up the trade block. And the reason why I'm going to do that is I've been trying to set up the trade block before recording here. And, the game keeps freezing on me. Let's do 5 weeks for WHL forwards here. We'll just go super heavy into scouting in the CHL at this point. We did win 3 games in the preseason. We got that going for us, right? We're crushing it. Look at us. Look at us. Look at us. And waivers will be in effect, and we start off our season against the Tampa Bay Lightning. But before that, let's see if I'm actually allowed to edit my trade block now. That would be great. Yeah, we don't want to give up first-round picks. Thank you. I am okay with giving up different picks, though. First-round picks can be there. I just don't want them necessarily on the block, But fully open up the trade block as we did before. Let's get all of these picks there. And again, we are going to set our sights a little bit high here. Let's edit it from here. And let's go 4-star medium. Of course, we'll do the same thing for defense here. Say if you're trading us anything or anybody, it better be good. It better be good. I have a bad feeling that this could crash again, and the trade block might not be safe. Let's see. Yeah, see, it's not letting me put future picks on. Let's sim a day. Let's sim this game against Tampa. And we ended up winning that game because, of course, we did. Let me double-check the trade block. Has it fully reset? It hasn't. That's good news. Can I now put future picks up there? No. So that is just, totally glitched out for future picks. Can I do, a future first? No. Okay. Well, I guess we're not trading for any future draft picks. That's good to know. We'll double-check that again later on. I do recall that being an issue in this game. So we'll see what happens. It's so weird, though. It didn't happen at all in Season 1 in terms of having any issues setting up the trade block. So I don't really know what to make of that, but that's okay. Let's go WHL Defenders for 6 weeks. Okay, 2 third-rounders this year, and Jeremy Morin for Tristan Jarry and a 6th. Now, a lot of Penguins fans will probably be like, take him. 21-73 medium start. It's not bad. And based on how last year's draft went, 2/3 for a goalie of that caliber really isn't that bad. Jeremy Morin, no points yet in 8 games on the second line. Woof. He's been atrocious. Honestly, done deal, Pittsburgh. We'll take that deal. We'll bring in Tristan Jarry. And we'll get ourselves a nice little goalie in the system here that we will send down. Let's call up... How old was Domingue? 24. Let's call up Louis Domingue. And that way, Jarry is guaranteed to get some AHL playing time. And did we need to call up another forward, or did we have a good, healthy scratch? We did have Crescenzi, I think. Let me see. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We had Collins, actually. So, yeah, Collins will be fine. We can just Actually, in fairness, Morin was on the third line. I was thinking of Zach Dalpe and Greg Cunningham. Let's get Sean Collins in there. Why not? I mean, he was decent for us last year. We will bump up Josh Levo, though. Honestly, that works. That works. We can keep David Brohl in a decent spot, the roller coaster. And then in the AHL, again, we will have Gibson, not Rob Mador, but we will have Tristan Jarry as our number one goalie prospect right now, which I don't hate. And then we went on to beat the Penguins. 2 seconds and Will Bitton for Calgary's first. Based off of the way second rounders looked last year, I can't believe I'm saying this. That's a done deal. That is a done deal. Maybe it's a trade I'll regret, but if Calgary ends up being bad this year, that could be a steal. We'll take the risk. We'll take the risk. I don't hate that. Don't hate that at all. But again, like my whole thought about draft picks and everything definitely changed after how this past draft went for us. Am I now allowed to put future picks? No. So that is just outright glitched out for this season. Maybe forever. I don't know. That's fine. At least now we know. 4-6-1 through our first 11 games. Certainly nothing too special. Let's go through November and see how this works out for us. We'll see if we get any other trade offers as well. Again, it'd be nice to be able to say, hey, future picks would be cool, but our second and Patrick Bykoff for Calgary's second. That's going to be a no. That one's not worth it. Calgary, nope, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Nope, leave me alone. It wasn't a matter of the player being the issue. It's a matter of just that's a terrible trade for me. They're just going to try to bore me into submission, though, it appears. Although, okay, never mind. They gave up. That's good. That is good. And speaking of good, 7-16-2. We are crushing it right now in terms of the tank. It is a year late to get Austin Matthews, but better late than never. Better late than never in terms of trying to help out here. And again, if we do that, nope, okay. I'm just going to keep trying at the start of every month. I don't know why that does that, but call it a hunch. I don't think EA is going to fix it 10 years after this game came out. I think we're just going to have to deal with it, and that's okay. Like I said, at the very least now we're doing a hell of a job of tanking. We got 20 goalies in the dub. Let's do a month here. So we'll go 6-6-4 will be the setup to the CHL, and then we'll see what else is interesting to look at. Ooh, yes, there we go. Our second round pick, which is essentially going to be a first. Like I imagine we're going to have a super high second round pick. That alongside Tom Rita. Now, Rita was a second round pick this past year. Honestly, doesn't look that bad, but you take your chances with a first round pick, especially from the Buffalo Sabres. So that is a yes. Thank you very much to Buffalo, as we still don't even have 10 wins yet. Ooh, we talked about Mitch Marner, Rupe Hintz, and a second from Dallas. Marner's already up to an 85. Hintz is only a 70 at 20 years old. That's going to be a no. If we can find the right deal for Marner, we'll do it. We won't hesitate to pull the trigger like Shanahan and company did for so many years. 2 seconds this year, and Luke Green for the Coyotes first. God, how many second-round picks did I have this year? I mean, again, Green's not too bad in terms of age and overall, but the potential strat, we'll take it. We'll take it. I mean, we're just trading a lot of second-round surplus for first-round picks this year. There's quite a few teams now that we're going to be able to be invested in for the back half of the season, aside from just ourselves. One last attempt to be allowed to edit the trade block, although this has worked out pretty well in terms of getting first-rounders this year. Yeah, it's just not going to let me do anything, and that's fine. But let's take a look then at the draft. Jesus. Okay, let's see. So 2017, we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fourths, 3 fifths, 2 sixths, 2 sevenths, 3 thirds, a second, And my God. 7 first-round picks. That is absolutely ridiculous. So we have Calgary's, Chicago's, Arizona's, Buffalo, Edmonton's, and LA's, along with our own. Good Lord, man. Good Lord. I mean, I knew we were selling off pieces and everything. I don't think we were pick hoarding to that extent yet. Especially too, you've seen it. I haven't been the one to initiate these trades. Only gone through the trade block. Let's do 6 weeks for OHL forward, second rounder Imvala for a second. That's a no. That is a no. And again, unfortunately, by not being able to trade for like future picks, we're kind of stuck with some of these. Calgary's knocking again. No, thank you. And yep, we are beautifully trash. Connor Brown and 2/3 for Prince and a second. Ooh. Now, Prince was in this last draft. 72 overall, 20 years old, medium 9. Connor Brown, he's up to an 80, man. I think we're keeping Connor Brown. I think we are. I mean, an extra second round pick only does so much for us right now. So we'll keep Connor Brown, and we're not going to do the Marner for Rupe Hintz. Marner and Carrier for Anderson, Mangiapane, and a second. Well, we know Carrier. Ooh, he's up to an 80. Oh, my God. He's gotten so much better this year. He's up like 7 points. Anderson's only a 67. And Mangiapane is 71. Yeah, we're not getting absolutely robbed by the Calgary Flames. Thank you. Yeah, we're not even trading Carrier for a first-round pick now. No shot. Alex Carrier has developed incredibly well. We're going to hold on to who we need to hold on to. We have just 16 wins now into February of 2017. One last attempt to edit the trade block, if it will let me. I don't know if it will. It doesn't look like it's... Nope. Okay, cool. Cool. And I'm afraid if I delete some of the stuff and put it back, that it'll just break the game. So, in terms of like crashing the game. And that first round pick this year is looking pretty good. But if we were to look here, 2018... We got our first, a third. We do have all of our picks for next year, too. So if we were to go and say, hey, we want to trade. I mean, people know that we're willing to trade for this year's, or that we are willing to trade this year's picks. Who do we have on an expiring deal that we might want to get rid of? Bozak still has 2 years left. And obviously, like Freddie Gauthier, he's up to a 77. I mean, there's definitely a couple of dudes we could call up here. Back half of the season. Matt Martin, of course, was signed 1 year for all the money. Kempe's up to a 77. Marner's up to an 87. Nylander a 79. So we are getting some pretty good player development. Jake Gardner has term left, but if we could move on from Jake Gardner, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. And again, Morgan Riley he's the toss-up, right? Goalie is Logan Thompson, Tristan Jarry. Not a bad little setup. So yeah, I feel bad for Jake Gardner. Sorry, buddy, but you're going to be our only defined trade block asset heading into March 3rd, which is, of course, deadline day. As Carrier and 2/3 for a first, and Carrier is worth more than the first. We already have enough first, let's be honest. Carrier, Gustav Forsling. I mean, if it was like modern day Gustav Forsling, yes. But in this game, not quite. Carrier is a little bit better. So no thank you to Gustav. Oh, let's see. It's going to be OHL Defenders for, screw it. Let's go 6 weeks. Honestly, I might be taking up too much time. We might not have as much time for the queue, but that's okay. Maybe I should do like 4 and 2 or something slightly different. Anaheim, I don't need your first. Don't worry about it. Holy shit, Washington wants this guy so bad, and it's not going to happen. And there we go. 19 wins as of March 1st. Let's see what happens here moving up to deadline day. One last chance to be able to edit the trade block. Will it do anything? Nope. Won't do a damn thing, and that's okay. And I thought the game froze right there, to be honest. I was about to be very disappointed. We'll turn down that deal from the Coyotes and from Vancouver. I got to be honest, like, there's nobody we absolutely have to trade right now. But for the deadline, since there's no, like, actual deadline day, of course, in this era of the game, what we need to do is take a look around the league and see who teams are willing to trade. The Ducks are willing to trade John Gibson, which is crazy, right? Like, I think there were John Gibson to Toronto rumors for almost a decade. They're also looking to trade Prince as well. So Anaheim's an interesting one. Arizona not getting rid of anybody. Boston looking to trade Brad Marchand. It would, it would break me to take Brad Marchand away. But also in terms of what we're looking to do, if they're dumb enough to move him, getting rid of one of our weaker first-round picks would be a smart thing. So you know what? We might have to adjust here. Let's take a look at the league standings, in which we are currently not dead last in the league. Winnipeg is even worse. That is crazy that we are only 29th in the league. But let's see. We also have, let's just go alphabetical here. We have Arizona's. They are currently in 10th. So that is a movable deal. Buffalo's in 14th. Calgary is all the way up in 6th. You got Chicago currently 7th. So yeah, a lot of these first rounders. Buffalo in 14th. Edmonton's in 11th. A lot of these first rounders, none of them are looking low except for ours. And then the Kings are the second best team in the league. So we have 3 of the 3 picks belonging to teams currently in the top 7 in the league. So definitely a good idea to look at trying to trade for some assets here. So again, Brad Marchand could happen. Anaheim and Boston, very intriguing right now. Carolina trying to move James Wisniewski. He's 33 at this point. Columbus not getting rid of anybody. Calgary, Anderson's the big one. Didn't it show him as a 70 earlier? Maybe it didn't. Rasmus Anderson, Mangiapane are the big 2. So we'll keep Anaheim, Boston, and Calgary in mind. Chicago, dude, Gustav Forsling's value is through the roof. That's insane. Colorado, Mellock, we got bigger fish to fry there. Dallas with Rupe Hintz, Jason Dickinson. I definitely think we can do some damage here. Detroit, Adam Masherin, their top player. Edmonton, nobody. Florida, Corbin Knight. Los Angeles, Andre Kasha. Kasha and Middleton wouldn't be too bad to reacquire them. We'll think about it. Minnesota with Bonks as a medium 9. Len Bonks. He's not bad. But, again, I think we can aim for higher than a medium 9. Montreal, Carl Grunstrom, also a medium 9. New Jersey, nobody. Nashville. Kale Clegg? Hold on, let's see. Anthony Richard. That's not too bad. Clegg's only 18 at this point, and then Gage Quinney. Ooh, Quinney only a 63. I think we'll hold off. Rangers picked up Daniel Sedin. They're already trying to trade him. Jeff Viel, Schlopik. Again, think we can aim higher than that. Philly, nobody. Pittsburgh, nobody. San Jose, David Legwand, or if you're a man of culture, David Legwand. We do have Sammy Blais from St. Louis, along with Brett Howden, which Sammy Blais is not a bad option. Tampa, Matthew Joseph, Mike Pizzetta, they're not that bad. Vancouver trying to move Henrik Sedin. Winnipeg with Drew Stafford. Washington, Michael Carcone. Okay. So if we wanted another goalie, it's Anaheim, right? I don't think another team had a goalie the caliber of John Gibson. I don't think so, at the very least. Now, the argument is, are goalies worth getting in this game if they have a high rating? And for the most part, this era of EA NHL, it's pretty consistent. Sometimes they play really well and up to their level. Other times they don't. do have Connor Ingram there. Who was that out in Chicago? Solomon was a medium starter. I think with the goalies we have, we're probably fine. I don't think it's going to be worth giving up that much to get John Gibson, especially with some of the other dudes that are available. Which brings me to the Boston Bruins. Wasn't a plan to trade for an already established player, but if Brad Marchand's available, we go after Brad Marchand. There's no other way to even look at this. And in terms of what we could give up, I mean, Jake Gardiner is right there, right? Like, I don't think Jake Gardiner is a long-term defenseman for us. They want him. They want to get rid of Brad Marchand. I think there's a match to be made here. I think so. What if we safety net it with a third-round pick from them next year? Doesn't quite go through. What about 1-for-1? The deal is 1-for-1. Jake Gardiner to the Boston Bruins. Brad Marchand is a Toronto Maple Leaf. You couldn't have set it up any better than that, right? Let's take a look at Calgary. Of course, we have their first-round pick. They're looking to get rid of Rasmus Anderson and Andrew Mangiapane. If we can get the two of these together, that's not a bad deal, especially if we send back Calgary's first, because why not? Jesus Christ, the values are just swamped. At the same time, we could also give up LA's first, because again, we know these are going to be very low first-rounders. All right, you know what we'll do, actually? Let's do a little bit more research, because that's a lot to give up. So you have on Calgary, you have Rasmus Anderson as a 66 overall, high top 4, 20-year-old. And then you have Mangiapane as a 71 overall, medium top 6, 20-year-old. How does that compare to who was on Chicago, which was primarily just Gustav Forsling? And Forsling is a 71 overall, high top 4 at 20 years old. I'm sensing a theme. Dallas had Rupe Hintz. Love me a Finn. He is a 71 overall, a high top 6 at 20 years old. And then Dickinson was okay as a tack on, but that was our main return. LA, Andre Kasha, 60. See, this is where it's rough. Kasha is a 65 overall at 21 years old, but he is a high elite. And then there was also Jacob Middleton. I view these two as the shot in the dark, right? Like, it'd be nice if they develop, but man, it seems unlikely. And then St. Louis had primarily, I mean, Gignac's there too. He's not that bad, but primarily Sammy Blais is the big guy here as a medium top 6. And then, for the hell of it, let's make note of Brandon Gignac as, again, a 59 overall, 19-year-old as a high top 9. So in terms of those high top 4s, high top 6s, best age overall, we're looking at Forsling and Hintz as the two that are worth spending the most for instead of Anderson and Mangiapane. So let's go talk to Chicago. Best defenseman we could possibly get is Gustav Forsling. In terms of anybody to tack on to the deal, not really. There's a couple of guys, but nobody that has crazy value. So we would be looking at Chicago's first, giving that back to them. Also giving them Calgary's first. And then you could even still argue the Los Angeles first, although they're still kind of up in the air. They are a top 10 team right now. They're probably a playoff team. So 3 first-round picks seems insane for Gustav Forsling, but you got to remember what the last draft looked like. I think it's a safe bet that we're going to get, the best player compared to whoever the hell Chicago selects with these. We'll also see if we can get their second rounder next year as a safety net. Maybe even that third rounder next year. There it is. Okay. 3 first-round picks, all 3 belonging to top 7 teams in the league right now. for Gustav Forsling, a second and a third. That leaves us with 4 first-round picks this year, although I do still want to be able to get Rupe Hintz from Dallas, and this could be pretty damn expensive as well. Of course, they do want, this would be a decent way to flip Brad Marchand. His deal's up at the end of the year, but Brad Marchand as a Leaf, it's too perfect. It is too damn perfect to not have him on this team. And it's Morgan Riley is such a high price to pay for what he looks like in this game, even if he doesn't, exactly work out the way the Leafs were hoping. All 4 of these picks are really worth keeping, so I don't know if we'll be able to get hints. Goalie-wise, Thompson has some damn good value, but it'd be nice to keep him and Jari. Of course, now we got Forsling in the mix. That defense, super, super promising. Pettersson, there was Morozov, Oleg Morozov, that we took in the second round last year, 20 years old. Dude, he's a 77 already. That's nuts. That is nuts. Connor Brown could be dealt. Matthew Olivier, 20 years old, only a 64. Olivier's got some value. So does Dmytro Timashov. But Timashov's also 6 points better. What if we were to use Olivier as one of the basis pieces for this trade? There's also Nikolai Teratukin, who we took in the second round last year. But then there's also the medium bottom sixes. We could definitely use Ronald Flood on this one. He's not a bad medium bottom six, but if those two together can save us a first round pick, then why wouldn't we? Again, Edmonton, Arizona, and then Buffalo. Arizona was the highest up amongst them. They are a top 10 team right now. Edmonton's close. What if we bank on Arizona, though? Arizona, Flood, and Olivier. How close are we? Not there yet. What if we also use an Edmonton third? There it is. Olivier, Flood, a first and a third to Dallas for Rupe Hintz. And I feel like we've done the damage that we needed to do. We got the best forward and the best defenseman available in the trade market. We still have 3 first-round picks left, most importantly, including our own. I think this is looking very, very good for a rebuild on the fly. And if we look at the goalies here, we still got Jari and Gibson. That's fine. We can leave the goaltending as it is. Defense. Nobody here is ready for the NHL quite yet. Dude, Carrier's an 83. It's showing him as a medium top 6. Damn, what do we do? As a minor league top 6, I should say. Do we call him up or do we leave him down with the Marlies? I actually don't know what to do. His morale's that high because of the ice time. But in the NHL, we could put him second pair, no problem. I do wonder if we play him, if it'll lock his overall towards what it is now, or if it's better to leave him in the AHL. I honestly don't know. But I think I want to find out. We're calling Carrier up for the back half of the season. Andrew Campbell's not too happy about getting sent down. Carrier's still rocking an 82. I guess technically we could try to call Campbell back up, but we'll probably just healthy scratch him. Let's see. Right wing side. Marner, Levo, Marchessault, Brown, and Nylander are ready to go. Those two are ready. And unfortunately in this timeline, Jonathan Marchessault, he's got 24 points this year. I don't think he's going to cut it. He is friends with Frankie Corrado. We go back to defense. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. What's that left wing side look like? Marchand, Martin, Cunningham, Dalpe, Crescenzi. We haven't seen any kind of crazy overall changes there. I would say Kempe is ready to go. Jansson's probably ready to go too. So if we, hate to say it, but send down Cunningham, Dalpe, and Crescenzi, call up Kempe and Jansson, didn't lose anybody on waivers, and then centers, is anybody ready? Nick Dowd, Byron Fraz, Wagner, Gauthier. Quite a few guys are in that mix. But we got Kadri, Bozak. mean, again, I think we could probably get away with sending down the old roller coaster since he's not a huge part of the team moving forward. Then again, Dowd's 26. Gautier's only 21. Erickson X only 20. I guess the argument is, again, is it better to just leave some of these guys in the AHL and let them tear it up? But I think the AHL is going to be good no matter what. Let some of these guys get that NHL experience. But then again, it might cost them Rookie of the Year. Maybe call up the kids for next season. Maybe that's what we're looking at again. Let's send down Collins really quickly. Back to the left wing side. I mean, it's nice to have cleared certain people through waivers. If we go and call up Crescenzi again, I mean, we could still give Kempe. How old are these guys? Janssen's 22. Kempe is only 20. Do we have somebody else? Let's see. Dalpe's 27. Cunningham. Denick Gauthier. Tanner Eberle. We can go with Denick Gauthier. Like, at least he'll punch people. You know what? I changed my mind on the fly about calling up certain people early. I think that's for the best. We are going to need another forward. Who is that going to be in the AHL? It's not going to be Connor Brown, not going to be Nylander. Like I said, we'll give them time. Dalpe, Cunningham, it could be either. Let's go for Craig Cunningham. And then defensively, yeah, so see, Carrier, we called him up. He's now being shown as a medium or as a actual top 6 defenseman. So I think that's a pretty good setup for us then. Who else could we send down? Any of these guys not affected by waivers? No. Harrington, Granberg. I mean, we can send down Willie Mitchell. That's fine. No one's going to claim that contract. Okay. Well, then really quickly, if we call up Brown and Nylander, does it then show them as being ready? It shows them as depth forwards. All right, Brown and Nylander are staying. Sorry to Jonathan Marchessault. We're going to put you through waivers. Nobody claimed you. But since, yeah, let's have that be the deciding factor. We know Kempe and Janssen didn't change over. I think Denick Gauthier can probably go back down then. And then centers, we're pretty much good to go. We'll call up Dowd really quickly. Yeah, minor league scoring forward. So, okay, we should be good then. At least people are within their proper roles or considered like proper NHLers. So, we have some new additions here, which I think are going to be looking pretty good. So, Crescenzi, Sutter, Levo, Cunningham, Broll, Connor Brown. I mean, you got Cunningham as a two-way, a grinder. It could go Nylander. Bozak's not too happy because of morale, which isn't surprising. Yeah, we definitely don't want Matt Martin that high up. Marchand, Kadri, Marner is amazing. Cunningham, Bozak, Nylander, and then, yeah, probably Connor Brown with David Broll and Matt Martin. Defense. Let's see. We don't have an extra righty, so let's get Riley over there. Carrier, Riley, Percy, Corrado, Harrington, Granberg, Hadobin and Godlewskis in goal. And then the AHL should be looking nuts, but also I can call a couple of people back up to be healthy scratches, particularly dudes that were on the roster in the first place. So I know Bozak was unhappy about Collins getting sent down. Then we can go Mitchell and Campbell. No, we can't. We can just go Willie Mitchell. And that'll cheer some people back up. Hurts the AHL a little bit, but that's okay. Go best lines. Let's see. Anybody that we can take out for Justin Johnson? Dimitro Timashov. Anybody that we can take out for Brady Vale? Clark Bishop. Anybody that we can take out for probably Chris Wagner or Byron Frazee? We'll keep Dalpe and Marchessault in there. Do we have any other centers? Freddie Goodrow. And then Byron Frazee we'll have to take out for Rupe Hintz. And then Mike Winther is the last one, but I think we're okay. I think so, at least. So let's see what the hell we have. We have just a bunch of left wings. A ton of them. Let's get Zach Dalpe onto his strong side. We'll get Nick Dowd onto his strong side. So we'll go Marchessault, Dalpe, Dowd, and Goodrow. And how many of these guys can actually play center? Perfect. Let's go Eriksson Ek, Hintz, Gauthier, Bishop. And we'll drop Timashov down behind Kempe and Janssen. I think that this team could very, very much be competing for the Calder Cup this year. I'd be very surprised if they didn't. Max Nicastro, we can get out for Andrew Nielsen for the moment. I hate that it brings me back to the front page of all of this. All right, let's see. We got 2 medium sevenths. Bell wasn't ours. Justin Hall, we still want to try to get him to develop. Although I hit Vince Dunn again, apparently. Justin Hall, please. Oh, my God. Yep, it's going to do that nonsense. Old school issue. Yeah, now it's just going to show him twice over. Can I now put Vince Dunn? Substitute. There we go. And then we go over to Justin Hall. Substitute. Might mean I have to change around certain things. It's also meaning that someone's going to be showing up as an extra player. But where? Oh, man, the glitches on this old game, I swear. I swear. Yeah. All right. Screw it really quickly. Let's just redo it. One button misclick and bam, be prepared to do the whole damn thing over with. But that's okay. Like I said, gives us a chance to really take a look at who's here. We know Andrew Nielsen's going to be on the outs. Justin Hall is down to a medium 6 at 25, so that's not looking too good. But it'll be... Yeah, we'll put righties on the right. That's fine. Honestly, that works. We'll have Dunn in over Forsling. But, I mean, that left-hand side of Dunn, Forsling, Pettersson, that's better than what a lot of NHL teams right now have. So we will gladly take that for the Marlies. And then again, back to centers. We wanted Bishop in there. Wagner is out for Freddie Gaudreau. Honestly, I'll probably just leave the lines the same after this. And then Byron Frazee is out for Rupe Hintz. So I might change it back for the playoffs and then Gibson and Jari. That works. I think that is a very successful season based on trades, based on the trade deadline. We have 18 games left this season. I want to finish that up and be able to set the stage for us heading into this offseason, which, again, multiple first-round picks to work with. Just 23 wins for us. There is a chance that we're going to be out-tanked. The Marlies, by the way, do not have a winning record since the trade deadline, so they're actually going to miss out on the postseason, which is very disappointing. Let's see, if we go 4 weeks for goalies, that's 40% of the season. Give me 3 weeks there. Cut a week of time off of it, do the rest of the scouting in the queue. I mean, we know the names to keep an eye out on as long as they're not generated, but there it is, 26, 46, and 10. The Marlies are not going to make the playoffs, but more importantly, thankfully, we're not making the playoffs either, which is what we needed to see. So the Buffalo Sabres have ended up making the playoffs, so damn. That's one of our picks in the playoff mix. You hate to see that. In the Metro Division, of course, Pittsburgh leading the way, but the only other first-round pick that we are worried about is the Edmonton Oilers, and we will take a look at them right now, and they have also made the playoffs. Damn. But so did Calgary, so did LA. Arizona, as it turns out, would have been the right pick to keep. But that's okay. The Kings end up winning the President's Trophy, and indeed, the Winnipeg Jets managed to out-tank us with just 24 wins. So we will not have the top lottery odds this season. Speaking of the season, though, let's see how the boys did. Nazem Kadri led the way with 51 points. Marner, 47 in his rookie year. Bozak on 40. Marchand, 37 by the end of it. 28 points for Matt Martin. Cunningham on 26. Levo did well. Marchessault did okay. He would have had a 30-point season had we kept him up the full time. Collins ended up playing a bit. Of course, Nylander, Connor Brown each had 7 points after their post-deadline call-up. Defensively, Riley looked pretty good. Carrier had just 1 point in those 18 games. So we'll see if he makes the NHL roster out of the gates for next season. And then Anton Khudobin with a 920. Dude, goalies are insane in this game. So it was Bernier last year that brought us to nearly the conference final. And then this year, I think we can easily say Anton Khudobin cost us the number 1 lottery odds in the draft. Steven Stamkos put up the most points. He was joined by Sidney Crosby, a 98 overall Sidney Crosby, Anze Kopitar, John Tavares, and Jakub Voracek as the top 5 in scoring. 50 goal scorers included Ovi and Tavares, and then you had Stamkos and Tarasenko, each hitting at least 40, and Patrick Kane rounds out the top 5 at 38. In terms of defensemen, most points goes to Drew Doughty with 69. Duncan Keith up there, Erik Karlsson, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, and Tyson Barrie. Top 5. For the goalies, 5 points for Schneider. No goalie goals this year. Shutout leader with 10 was Ben Scrivezna. You had Jimmy Howard, Marc-Andre Fleury up there, Carey Price, and Varlamov. And for save percentages amongst starters, Scrivens was a part of a tandem, but he was outstanding. Jonathan Quick potentially just won the Vezina. Gibson did look great. Maybe we'll regret not trading for John Gibson. Holy. Maybe if there's a deal to be made at the draft, we use the Buffalo and Edmonton picks to get Gibson. Varlamov was great. Bobrovsky, Fleury. I mean, goalies save percentages were up, man. And in terms of the rookies, close competition this year. Very, very close. Duclair and Domi for the Coyotes, both at 49 points. Reinhart at 48 for the Sabres. Braden Point at 47, as was, of course, Mitch Marner. If this works the same way it works currently, I think Domi wins it because of plus-minus. We'll see what happens. But again, great to see that Braden Point develops in this game because obviously at the time, they're just like, hey, it's a third-round pick, whatever. And of course, now we know Braden Point's gone on to be one of the best players in the NHL. Shout out to Nick Ritchie. Mantha's there. Rocco Grimaldi. Kevin LeBanc. Mikko Rantanen up to an 83 already. Philip Adeno for Chicago. This is Victor Arvidsson's rookie year. Florida had quite a few rookies in the mix. Brian Rust's rookie year at age 24. Kulak. I mean, quite a few of these guys going on to some pretty damn solid NHL success. That is for sure. That is for sure. But there we go. Season's in the books. Next time up, the off season. Thankfully, much, much sooner and without any playoffs beforehand.